G'day everyone, Luke from the Bearded Bushranger here, and in today's video I'll be doing a 3-day survival challenge out in a glorious part of the Victorian High Country, sleeping in a beautiful cave. Now it is winter, so it's going to be freezing conditions out here. I also have limited supplies with me, so I'm going to have to try and catch my own fish, and all I've brought with me for bedding is this sheepskin bedroll to keep me warm. So stick around because it's going to be a good video. So I'm just walking along this river here. There's a bit of a track that walks along this river, and then at the end of this track it's basically just going off track and bush bashing and stuff like that. But yeah, here for a 3-day survival challenge in the winter cold. It's going to be cold. I saw a lot of frost on the ground when I was driving in this morning, so it's getting to freezing at night time. But yeah, I got a bit of a bush bash or trail bash. There's lots of overgrown like blackberries on the trail and stuff like that, but once I push through there, I'm out on an open flat, and I'm going to try and look for a good place to camp tonight. So let's see how we go. I think hunters have been here. I won't be eating that meat. Very damp and cold and wet in this little section. Definitely want to get out of here and not camp down by the river where it's damp and cold and the sun doesn't hit here in the winter time. Well, it's just opened up to beautiful grassy plains and the sun is shining and it's so nice. Alright, so I just wanted to go over the gear that I'm carrying with me before I really go into this section and try and set up. So minimal gear. I mean, there's a bit of stuff here, but considering it's a winter survival challenge, I just needed a few extra stuff with me. So to begin with, look, the modern day stuff I'm bringing is my first aid kit with my PLB. I'm in a remote section, so I've got to have that. And then all my camera gear. They're the two kind of modern pieces of gear I have. I've got a 1 litre water container with a little nesting cup in there. I have like a little rag that I can use as a neck warmer, or to put my pot in the fire, things like that. This bag is pretty much empty. I'm just using that to carry this stuff. I made these little pocket fishing kits that I'll show you later, and hopefully I can get some trout with these. So I made 2 of them. For sleeping gear, I have just a sheepskin bedroll. So it's just a sheepskin and a woolen blanket. So let's see how wool goes for me out here. It's going to be quite cold. It was in the minuses the last few days, and there's been frost all over the ground, so it's clearly freezing conditions. So yeah, I'm going to have to get a fire going all night while I'm out here, and I've got no shelter with me, so I've got to rather find a rock cave or build a shelter from the resources around me. And I also have this little axe with me on my belt. I've got my Swagman's companion, and I have my ferro rod to start fire. So for food, I have a little bit of homemade venison jerky, and I made this myself from a deer that we shot on our farm. And yeah, so some rations with me, and also a little thing of coffee. Now you're probably thinking, you're on a survival challenge, why are you bringing out food? Well, I mean, 3 days, you can go 3 days without food anyway, so that's not really the survival aspect of this challenge. The survival aspect of this challenge is how cold it's going to be, and that I'm not bringing any shelter with me or any modern day sleeping gear. So that's the more survival aspect of this. Otherwise, this is pretty much what I'm bringing out here, and yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to find where I'm going to sleep tonight. So when I say survival because of freezing conditions, it does sound, it sounds serious. You think of the risk of hypothermia and you think, well, that's quite serious. And to be honest, it would be serious, but the thing with survival, it's about preparation and knowledge. And I'm pretty confident with my knowledge, my bush skills out here, and how to handle myself out here in the bush. So that's not a worry. And then preparation, it's just about preparing, I've got the whole day ahead of me, and it's about preparing before that sun goes down to have everything in order so that I can get through the night quite comfortably. And so, survival situations, that makes the difference between, you know, you're actually trying to survive and get through, and if you're actually doing quite well and you're comfortable and you're thriving. Food is not a huge issue for me. I will try and get trout. If I don't get trout, I'll just live on a little bit of venison jerky for the 3 days I'm out here. It's not much, I'll go hungry, but it's the cold. I want a good place, I want a good shelter and a good fire going all night for this trip. It is glorious out here, have a look at this. There is a river down there, so that's my water source. The thing is though, these open plains, it's a bit lower, so it's going to be a real cold sink here. So it will get cold in the night. So I have been here before, and I think I've seen up on the cliffs here more of a like a cave looking thing. So I might opt to see if I can find a cave a little bit up where it might be warmer and see how I can go up there. Okay, I've just left my bedding and my camera down there, and I'm going to go for a walk up this hill so I'm much lighter and just scope it out, because there might be a cave up there and that's great, but if there's not, I might have to look down on the river, or there's another section over further along that I might have to look at. So up we go. Definitely looks like a rocky outcrop up here. Let's go and have a look. Could be a winner. It's a big climb, but this could potentially be the spot. Whew, okay. This is a natural outcrop. I mean, you could lay yourself in there. I don't know if I trust this big rock here. Let's keep looking over here. Holy moly. Look at this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, can I really say no to this? I mean, will it get any better than a cave like that? I mean, look at the view. River's down there. Oh man, oh man. I mean, I'd probably lie myself right here, and I'll set up here for the night, and I'll just collect a bunch of wood for my fire, and then I'll basically, yeah, fish for the afternoon down on the river. So there's a few things to consider when trying to work out the best place to lie down and have a fire. You know, all the best spots, like the flattest spots to lie, they're all underneath, as you can see, a bunch of bird poo there. There's these little nests for swallows. So, I mean, they're obviously in use. It looks like fresh poo, so I don't really want to camp under that, and I don't want to smoke them out as well. So where my stuff is there could be a potential spot. I mean, I could even go right into there. Obviously people have had a fire here before, and I'd be really warm in there. Potentially I could do that. Okay, check it out. This is where I'm laying. Pretty flat. I'm pretty happy with that. I can load up my fire here. The heat of that's going to come onto me at night. I built up this little rock wall fireplace just so the firewood won't slip down the hill, because we don't want that to happen. And for those of you who are like, oh, you know, mucking up the cave a bit, I'm going to, when I'm done here, clear all of this and leave it as I found it, so you won't be able to tell that there was a fire here or anything like that. Leave no trace, because this is a beautiful cave. If I am too cold here tonight, like there's a breeze or something like that, tomorrow night I can go right up into there. But it'll be nice just to be out here tonight. Camp is set up, cave is set up. I've drunk all my water, so I've got to go down to the river and have a drink. So I'm not too fussed about catching trout today, because I do have that venison jerky, and I've got the whole day tomorrow here, so you know I can spend the whole day tomorrow trying to get trout. But I think it's more about going for a wander and just sussing out my surroundings. This way is almost impassable because of the blackberries. Ooh, that looks beautiful. It's amazing how cold that water was. Oh, it just goes to show we're in winter, like my feet are already numb. So river's quite low. I'm not sure what that'll mean for the trout. We are almost, so we're just at the start of the winter. So luckily we're still in the trout season. Trout season's about to close. Actually next week it's going to close, so it gives me a chance to try and catch something. Look at that, that looks so fishy. Nice deep water coming off the back of a little stream. This could be a great little fishing spot. Okay, that was really hard. I did so much digging. Oh jeez, you bugger. Biting me. In the end, I managed to get a cockroach and one little widgety boring grub. Let's get these pocket fishing rods out. Now I've got two. One has a sinker and one has a float. I might put the cockroach on the sinker because it's a bigger hook, and I'll set it out here and I'll set the widgety grub up as well. Alright, let's do this. There's a little cockroach, and this is my little pocket fishing kit. So I'm just going to throw it out here and see how I go. I already got my shoe and my sock wet. Not too bad, it'll dry out on the fire tonight, but yeah, well. Alright, I'm going to go for a wander up the river for about an hour, come back, check the line. If nothing's there, I'll just go straight back to camp. I'm enjoying just sussing these places out just for future trips and stuff, so this is clearly a good spot. Just came across this wallow. This is clearly a deer wallow, maybe even pig. So I've just come across this cave. This could have been a nice place to camp. It's a bit slopey, and then look how far it is down to the river. It's an okay spot to camp. Definitely not as much protection as the other place. I think I might just head back. hope the fishing's better tomorrow. As you can see, nothing here. This little spot's much closer to camp, so I might actually try and find some worms and leave my little pocket fishing things set up here overnight, so maybe in the morning I'll have something. Oh, little larvae. That'll work wonders. I always find it crazy how hard it is to find earthworms out in the bush. Like on the farm, they're everywhere, but here it's so hard. I found one little grub that maybe a trout will go that, and then I've got the cockroach. I don't know how good the cockroach will be, but anyway, I'm going to set them up and see how we go. Look, you can see my cave from all the way down here. That's where I'm sleeping tonight. I'm sure plenty of hunters come to this place. The cockies are going off, and I'm thinking I'm actually hearing honking. I don't know if it's fallow or samba, maybe samba deer. But it's a great lookout spot to just look down there and find, you know, see deer. And unfortunately though, being up here, anything that's down there is going to be able to see me. Having a fire up here all night, but that's alright. I'm pretty remote. I'm pretty sure I'm out here by myself, that's for sure. I've always wanted to camp in a cave, and now I'm fulfilling that dream. Time to get a fire going and maybe eat some jerky. There it is there. Very gamey taste to it, but I don't mind that. So here's my sheepskin. Fortunately it's going to get a bit dirty, but oh well. This is from Peak Oil Company. I bought this from them, and yeah, I love it. And then a woolen blanket. Drying my stuff here, drying those socks, the shoes, pants. It's a really, it's a bit of a strange feeling, kind of spooky feeling, sleeping in a cave here. And I wonder, like, how many people have slept in here before? Like, were there indigenous mobs who slept in a place like this? Probably. I mean, it's a great cave with a great lookout. Were there bush rangers or old swaggies who stayed in here back in the day? Maybe. I've got a long night ahead of me though. It's only 6 o'clock, and yeah, I'm just sitting here doing nothing really, just watching the fire. No music, no beer, no pipe to smoke. Yeah, these survival trips are always a little bit different, I guess. What a night. Well, I wasn't exaggerating when I said it was freezing last night, because looking out on the plains, it's completely frosted over. So yeah, we got into the minuses last night, and I felt it. I kept like pushing myself more and more closer to the fire throughout the night, and then I'd be lying facing my front towards the fire. My back was getting so cold, so I'd roll over and get my back warm. And yeah, look, it was the fire that got me through the night. If I only had this sheepskin and the woolen blanket, it would not have been enough for these freezing conditions. So I'm glad I had this fire going all night. I had a bit of wood left over last night as well, so didn't use it all up. I got some for tonight. That's really good. I was hearing samba in the night as well, honking. When I turned the torch on, they'd start honking, which is their way of warning their fellow samba friends that there's someone in the area. Get out of there. What a beautiful morning though. So I'm gonna cook up a big pot of coffee. Last night when trying to dry my sock, I accidentally burnt it right through. And this is actually, unfortunately, this is my dad's socks, and they're his good socks. So if you're watching this, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to buy him a new pair of good socks. I'll see if I can still wear them in the shoe, just because I don't want to get my nice woolen ones wet if I'm crossing creeks and stuff today. Alright, I'm going to go check my line, see if I caught anything last night, see if I can find some worms and go for another fish. It's a fair bit of frost here. Actually, as I've walked down here, I can feel the temperature drop, like my fingers are tingling, which just goes to show it's a real cold sink down here. This is why I didn't want to camp down here. I wanted to camp higher up, because I mean, look how cold it was down here. No luck. Let's see how much jerky I have left. Not a lot. I might have one for breakfast and save the rest for tonight, because if I don't catch a fish, that's all I got. Alright, so there's a couple of big carp I've seen hiding under a rock here. So I've got this grub thing, as you can see. And let me see if I can put it right in front of them. Maybe I can entice them. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so here's a little bit of bush tucker knowledge for you. This here is the lamandra grass plant, and this is a great survival plant because basically you can pull these leaves out, and at the bottom of these leaves are a white fibrous flesh, like a food that you can eat and chew on. Unfortunately, I can't do that here because we are in a national park, and national parks have very strict rules around foraging, which is unfortunate. But I understand why, because they don't want people coming in. But I would say the amount of people who are going to come in and forage bush tucker plants is going to be very limited. So look, in the survival situation though, yeah, you could harvest a bunch of these and chew on these. I've lifted up that many rocks and logs just to find worms, but there's nothing. And then now what I've done is I obviously put my little pocket fishing line down somewhere. And I've walked off and I've left it, and now I can't find it. so I've lost it. So I'm looking everywhere for it, but I can't find it anywhere, so it's gone. At least I've got one left, but it just goes to show what being tired and hunger can do to you. Like, I have no idea what I did with that. I'm feeling really weak. Yeah, energy levels are really down, and it's so funny because there's cart right under there. It's like there's no way to get it. If I tried to spit, oh, look at them, look at them. So much meat on something like that. No, I should be collecting firewood right now, but a big part of me just wants to lay down and rest. This will be my bed for tonight. This little section here actually feels more comfortable where I laid last night. I was lying here just now and I kind of dozed off. It's really comfortable with this sheepskin. I'm going to have a fire right here, right close to me. Maybe not a huge fire, but just a little one that's just going to put a lot of warmth on me. And then I have this rock wall behind me, which would be great because the heat of that fire should radiate and reflect off that wall back onto my back. I think I'll be a bit warmer here tonight than I was there. Also, there's a bit of a breeze over there, so I'm way out of the breeze here. The only thing I'm worried about is the smoke. Hopefully the smoke doesn't hang around too much and goes out a little bit. We'll wait and see how it goes. I'm just climbing to the top of this hill to see if I can pick up any reception on my phone, just to let my wife and kids know I'm all good. I'm doubtful though. I mean, pretty remote area valley, but maybe when I get a bit of height. And look, if you really want to contact family when you're out on big trips like this, I'd recommend getting something like a Garmin InReach. Nothing. Okay, I'm tired. I'm going swimming. Oh, walking up and down this steep section is actually quite hard, especially when I've ate nothing today. Man, imagine having a little reel right now, a lure. That'd be the go. Mind you, trout season's slowing down, but still, there's redfin in here as well, so. Well, look what I found. Oh yeah. At least it's not a total failure. I might go set that with a grub, so maybe I'll get something tomorrow morning. Finally, I found one little earthworm, and I know how much trout love earthworm, so I'll put him in there. Alright, hopefully that's enough to entice something. Better. Okay, and I'm really low on energy. That's alright. I'm alright. I'll get through fine. I'm not in trouble. It's just about being uncomfortable, really. Learning how to be uncomfortable. That's what it's about. It's actually incredibly cozy in here right now, and I already feel so warm, and my bed feels way more comfy than what it did last night, so I feel like tonight I'll have a good sleep, besides the fact I'm bloody hungry. This cave is actually filling up with smoke because there's no wind, so the smoke obviously doesn't blow out like where I had last night. So the smoke rises and then it kind of lingers around and then it eventually goes out of the cave, but as long as I'm lying down and as I'm sleeping, I'm clear of smoke, so that's fine, and there's plenty of oxygen being able to get in. Well, good morning. Last night's sleep was definitely much warmer than the first night's sleep. I don't think there's frost on the ground this morning though, so it might have been the temperature was definitely a little bit warmer, but I was like in a little oven in this little back part of the cave with the fire going all night. Last night actually I felt like it was too warm. I was getting too hot, so yeah, definitely not as cold as the first night. But you know, waking up through the night and putting logs on the fire, there's something very primal about sleeping next to a fire in a cave on a sheep hide. Yeah, I just felt like I could have been doing this, 1,000 years ago or something. So, it's cool. Time for a big old cup of coffee. I'm so dirty. This is the dirtiest I've ever been. This coffee is good. I've pretty much gotten through this whole trip with this coffee. It's the only treat I brought from home, and I'm glad I did because the jerky was barely anything and I've been hungry. The coffee's kept me going. Probably really unhealthy. Oh well, I've enjoyed it. It's amazing the difference in temperature from right now compared to yesterday. Like yesterday it was literally got down to freezing, like 0 degrees. Everything was frosted over and I was shivering at night, and like, honestly it feels like it could be like 11 degrees right now. It's kind of balmy really for winter, but that's Victoria for you, I guess. It's a mixed bag down here. There is rain headed this way today, quite a fair bit of rain, so I'll be packing up and I'll go check the trouts, the fishing line, see if I got any trout, and if I got a trout I'll cook it up. If I don't, food in the car. But this cave has just been unreal to sleep in here. I kind of wish I could stay another night and sleep here in the rain, but I got to get home. Got wife and the kids waiting for me. But I think I'll come back here one time and when it's forecasted heavy rain, and I'll sleep in this cave in the rain. And blackfish. That's a native blackfish. So I caught a little blackfish. These are native, and they're not big. This is not big enough. They've got to be 30 centimeters to eat. I'm going to chuck him back quickly because yeah, again, these are native fish. I probably don't want to take this from this waterway when there's trout and carp and things like this. You don't want to take a native fish, so it's kind of unfortunate I got a blackfish because yeah, I can't eat it. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to chuck him back. It's a shame that I couldn't keep that blackfish, but in a survival situation, there's a bit of protein for you. I probably wouldn't last longer than the 3 months it takes to starve though with this rate, but you know, over time you'd probably definitely catch some stuff. So it was just really cool to have this experience, and you know, and sleep out in minimal gear in winter when it was quite freezing, got down to 0 degrees. Try and source my food, even though I didn't do too well with that. And yeah, my energy levels are really low, and there's a big storm coming, so I'll probably start walking back. But yeah, it's been bloody great this trip. All right, and I'm buggered. I'm gonna head back to the car now, and I'm looking forward to warm food, a warm shower, good coffee, and yeah, it's been a great journey this. So thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, give me a like, drop a comment as well, and please subscribe if you haven't. Also, you can join my YouTube memberships or even my Patreon if you really want to support me to continue making these videos. So plenty more videos to come this year. Thanks everyone, have a good one. Ooh, yummy, yummy. Oh yeah. Ooh.